All right, everyone, we are back for episode 64 of Stub Luv Live with Darren Rovell. It's going to be a hot one.
Wow.
Wow, right?
Holy hell. I feel like I got to pump up my energy now.
Man, I'm excited to have you on, Darren. It's always good, always good. So we're like, you're leaving tomorrow for the National. I'm not leaving till Wednesday, so I'm kind of like a little jelly of you that you're going to be out there a day before.
What? So I could take an X-Acto knife and unpack shipping crates? I mean, I'm not sure what you're jealous of, but yeah, we're just making sure everything's okay in Collect Land. That's it.
Yeah. So you were telling me you're going to be set up on the second floor and you're going to be right at where they're doing like private signings with some of these guys. And you're going to be trying to get all the kind of live in-person interviews and get all the good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year in Cleveland, we were in the front lobby. We had a different kind of thought we wanted to get a lot of the industry guys. This year, we want to get a lot more athletes. And so we're a partner with TriStar now. And essentially there's going to be this second level up an elevator. There's going to be 75 dealers. There's going to be the private signings are going to go on there. And that's where we have our stage. I mean, obviously for most people could look at it, at collect.com. We'll have all their interviews pumping through there and social media. But yeah, this year it's the athletes. Want to ask them, why they won't sign this, what's their favorite thing that they get, what was the one item that they got that, to sign that they wanted to steal. And I brought a couple tickets as devices to get people into the interviews. So I think that's going to be fun too.
Lure them in, get them talking with some props. I like.
Yeah. I mean, the tickets are so great, right? Because you can, I'll give you one. My friend Derek Babson, if you guys don't know him, have you had him on yet or no?
No, I haven't. I don't
You
think.
should have him because he's a different ticket guy. He goes to find the crazy, insane ones. Most of them you can buy from him for $75 to $150 because he got them for $1, right? But he's like the crazy man in the ticket industry. Fills a very nice niche that doesn't exist in cards or anything else. So I got him to get me the Wade Boggs 73 beer ticket. Now, he figured this out based on what it could only be in the 1990 season. Of course, he didn't drink the beers at the game, so Mr. Fuller is not going to grade it in any way, but it will still get him to the 73 beer story. So that's kind of a device. So we got that one there. We've had this one for a while. This is a great one. It's the Curt Warner game where essentially he's, just standing on the sidelines. The greatest story of anyone who became a Hall of Famer. And to me, the idea that, he's the fourth quarterback behind Favre, Detmer, and Brunell. And he has no chance that day. He does not get a throw, does not get in the game, and is cut the next day. And then he does not get a chance for another 4 years. And that's the whole Arena Football League bagging the groceries, blah, blah, blah. To me, if you think tickets are special, this is a special ticket. So hopefully, get Curt going there.
And Kurt's such a nice guy. He's definitely going to want to talk about it.
Yeah, and then we got this one. I got Tyson on it before Fitterman shut it down. But this is the for an '86 Mets fan. Poor me. The Mets are my only title as a fan ever in any sport. The '86 Mets coming in, closing it out. They're a month away from the season ending, and of course, Mike Tyson, Darryl Strawberry, and Dwight Gooden take that famous picture. This is a picture this is the ticket from that game. So maybe get Gooden and Strawberry into that one.
You're not going to get them to sign it like small on it as well?
I'll get him to sign it. I'll get him to sign it.
You should.
And then the mystery of the National is like, in general, I actually don't. I'm not loving to auto every ticket. I think I do like the art of it, and especially guys that sign like crazy. I mean, I don't necessarily think. I mean, Hogan, for example, rest in peace. I mean, Hogan signed so much. Sometimes you have to try to let it breathe. And I'm wondering, since his auto is not really that good, I'm wondering if I should crack the Tommy John gets hurt game out. I'm thinking not. I'm thinking.
I saw Tommy's autograph recently, Darren. It's really bad. I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
it looks like his fingers need additional Tommy John. So right now I'm staying away. And then there's been some things some things that I've gotten autographed over time that didn't count as a ticket. This is a crazy one, and then we'll get into more of the general. But I just like my show and tell here, even though it's your show. This is Pat Summerall's CBS. His first year at CBS that admitted him in.
It's his press card. It's really cool.
It's his press card. It's not a ticket thing, so we got to get that. We got to get that slabbed, and then we have the Jerry Maguire film Tidwell scenes. Lee Steinberg signed this one. That's the type of meta shit that you love. I know that. And then we just have some autos that we have to get done. So we have this one I just picked up in RR. I've never really shown it live in person, so
okay.
Exclusives.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. This is awesome. Yeah.
I mean, and then on the back, the Einstein writing, dear lieber dear professor. Now, if you want, I'm going to tell you for the first time what is on the back of this.
I'd like to know.
I thought that it was quantum physics. Maybe I was hoping for quantum physics. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find where when I pumped this baby in it. Chat GPT. I can't find it right now, but essentially, actually, no, I really do want to find this. Hold on. Okay. This is worth it. I thought it was going to be something like, some sort of who knows. It's in German. I'm going to find. All right, here, ready?
Yep.
Dear Mr. Professor, my little dog is a mixed breed puppy raised by me and has now been in Hamburg for 1.5 years, but comes from my hometown. She matches the description. The dog is excellent. In any case, may you give the good animal a nice little place. Kind regards, Albert Einstein. Now,
that's great. I love it.
Now, I again,
better than quantum physics, man.
At first, I was disappointed, and I'm like, "Wow, you know what? He was a real person who owned dogs." So
great.
So that one is going to be nice. And then I got this one. I know it's a ticket show, but this is a crazy one. This is Billy Joel at an Italian restaurant. So
love it.
Anyway.
You're a big Billy Joel fan. Have you watched the documentary yet on HBO?
I have not yet. I'm a little scared. I heard it was too long.
It's long, but it's good. We watched it. It's good.
I know everything, but I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah.
We might get this. This is Rick Pitino's all access pass for the game that they won the Big East title. We might get that. But that's pretty much it. And then I am getting 2 tickets done that I don't have on me right now. I'm getting one that I can't say. So hopefully, I felt really special about being able to deliver to The Rock the ticket that he was in the audience, and I was thrilled that he put 2 Instagram posts on it.
Yep.
Since then, I've been commissioned by an agent to find a ticket that is special to a very, very famous musician, and I'm going to get that slabbed at the National. So that'll be beautiful. And then I'm also getting the Bryce Drew Pacer shot, which besides Leitner, and that has been a hard one for me to get. I mean, that I basically, when you can't get a ticket, you go out on the anniversary and say, I have no leverage in the world, forget it, I'm never gonna find it, and then like shoot me, I'll just I'll lay over and give me whatever the price is, and that's what happened with the Bryce Drew ticket. Too
That's
hard.
great. That's great. Well, I kind of pumped this a little bit as, it was no holds barred. So we were going to talk anything, and you and I did no prep today, but you're an old hat at these and you've been on a couple of times. I have to tell you, Darren, the Hulk Hogan death thing for me, and I don't know if it's the same for you. It's been tough for me. Like, it was kind of like the first person that had met a lot in my childhood.
Same.
Yeah. And to kind of have him die in somewhat of an unexpected way. I mean, we knew he was sick. We heard the Bubba Love Sponge stuff, and, we knew he had the surgery, but, no one came out from his camp. We didn't see any pictures of him, no videos. And it was like, I wonder if this is going to go the wrong way. And I really like Hulk, but it's kind of like one of these things where that was like, it wasn't Michael Jackson. It wasn't like Kobe for me. It was Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk. I mean, when we were, how old are you?
51.
Okay, so I'm 47. So we're in that range, 7 to 8. Like, I mean, wrestling was number one for me from maybe 6 to 9, probably. And when Ricky Steamboat got choked, that ruined my day. I was crying to my mother, the whole thing. I tried to miss Hebrew school on wrestling, so yeah, I mean, it is when you talk about why we do this and why we're collectors, it hits the nostalgia part of our brain, and yeah, it's really sad. I mean, I tried to think of like, is there something of Hulk's that I didn't collect, and the only thing I wanted, I mean, I did get the WrestleMania 3, of course, but the only thing I wanted other than that was to get one of the highest graded, sealed rubber wrestlers, since we all had those. And I got 5 of them, and then I'm actually selling the top one. But yeah, I mean, that was what was important to me.
Yeah. I mean, it was a real, like, I don't know, eye opener.
I did think about, by the way, the first time he came out to Real American. I was thinking I was going to buy that one. That's a special one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That goes for a lot of money, and I know
it's like $4,000. What did you get? What tickets did you get of him?
So the 3 that I have that are like super meaningful to me are WrestleMania 3, and I got that one signed. I have the Hulk wins the title, pins the Sheik. That's a big one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a big one. And then I finally picked it up, and those were 2 tickets. The Hulk pins the Sheik I did not get signed because it's too small. I didn't want to ruin it. Very small,
yeah.
Small. And then I did get Hulk turns heel.
Okay, you did. I was thinking about whether you got that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
By then I was out of wrestling.
I know. But still a great moment.
Looks like you're going to wrestle someone tonight, by the way.
No. To be honest with you, I was in the suit this morning for the video with you because I had a big hearing. The hearing went all day. We did really well. I was so excited. I just said to my wife, I'm like, I'm going this shirt, and we're just doing it. It's Darren.
There you go. Amazing.
Tell me a little bit about the Ferris vest. The big sale. I thought you did really well with that, and I know you were disappointed in it. You thought it was going to do better. Also, talk to me about the Tiger American Express card, and then take me to the end. Like, where is this going to end for you? Are you selling a lot of your stuff to get new stuff? I know you always say sometimes you got to sell the good to get the great. So I guess the question is, what's the great?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the point in my collecting career where I have a tremendous volume, and I need to get to, I feel like I need to get to almost like a PC 100. These are I need to get down to 100.
Yeah.
So I'm not loving the volume. So with the Ferris, I just felt 40th anniversary. Let's give it a big shot. Otherwise, I'd have to wait to the 50th anniversary. Thought it was going to go for 400,000 or more. Listen, I had to sell it because the in terms of the press, it could not have gotten any better. It was
Yeah.
amazing. We got a Today Show hit. Everyone knew it was selling. So for whatever reason, like Sotheby's, I mean, God, they built the whole thing in front. I couldn't be happier there. And, you know, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw, but, you know, 280,000 from, you know, 144,000 in only a couple years, you know, fine, you know, gives me that to then go spend somewhere else. You know, I'm really trying to get to the wow, holy shit stage, right? So I'm willing to sell, you know, the 1919 World Series ticket, or, you know, I want to get things that people are like, oh my God, right? Like that's kind of like my goal, you know.
The fairest vest to me is, oh my God, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's definitely a great one.
Yeah.
It also though comes with like, you know, to spend 145, you know,
Yeah.
like honestly, it puts some pressure on my chest. And it's good to get off. I think I'm more comfortable spending, you know, maybe 30 to 50 than that big freaking chunk. I'm not Patrick Ryan out here.
I know. Well,
So
not many of us are, but he's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So you know, just great, amazing grails, and you know, so people say, oh, you're letting go of some of your tickets, or you know, I mean, I'm keeping the ones that I love, and I am really whether it's tickets or something else, I am really moving more towards culture and history. I just think that's really where there's some undervalued stuff. Whether it's, you know, I'm interested in emerging markets like the magazines.
Yeah.
I think the pop culture magazines, especially the ones that are rare, don't necessarily believe in SIs. I think, yes, we have the natural, you know, yes, it's a newsstand edition that
Mhm.
gives you the scarcity, but to only be, I believe in, like, you know, if you can find a debut of an artist on or whatever on a random magazine that happens to be their debut, you go get it, right? So like a this is Bob Dylan. Okay, this is literally the folk song magazine. If 100 people subscribed to this in 1962, I'd be shocked. October, November 1962. You know, the folk song like, how does that not hit in the same way a great debut ticket might? Or, you know, so I kind of went down there deep, and now I'm kind of evaluating slides, positives, right? Not negatives, but like these little slides.
Yep.
Do they have potential? And what, you know, I think there's something there as well. So that's always, you know, that's always exciting. Don't always hit it, but evaluate it and figure out, like, what does it have to get to in order for the market to come to fruition?
Yep.
Still love tickets, still love checks. You know, so
Yeah. I saw your John Denver check. I thought that was really cool.
oh
So
my God. I mean, the guy
yeah,
didn't know that was the guy who named him, and then it had both his names. I mean, it had
great.
it had everything, you know, a story could be for me, you know, and
Agreed.
to be able to get that for $304, I mean, come on, that's what we call all day long material.
So let me ask you this, Darren. You sent some magazines and some things off to PSA. I'm assuming you don't have anything back yet.
I don't. I've been told that the earliest we'll get something is September, and that's really the smaller ones in comic book holders. There are others. The magazine holders got kind of delayed from tariffs, and that's basically November. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they look like. CGC cases for me, at least on the magazine side, maybe because they were too big, didn't really do it for me. So PSA now, and that, you know, CGC does it for other things for me, but just not the magazines.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, let's switch gears a little bit too. We got the National. You're leaving tomorrow. I'm leaving Wednesday. It's this week. We're all excited about it. You were at Fanatics Fest. I was at Fanatics Fest. What are your thoughts on, Fanatics Fest and the National? But before you get into it, let me just give you 2 seconds on it. I went to Fanatics Fest and I liked it. I thought it was cool. I went by myself, kind of a getaway, a couple of days for myself. hung out with Sean Morgan from Famous Inc., had a great time. He treated me like gold. There was only 250 dealers. I didn't really see anything that was like the wow, holy shit stuff that you see at the National, but I saw the experience, and the experience was very cool. Let me ask you this, Darren. If the National doesn't adapt in the next few years, and the Fanatics can get the dealers with the great stuff to come to Fanatics Fest, does the National go away?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you have to realize is Michael Rubin's not going for you for now, right?
Yep.
And he's not trying. They haven't tried. What you have to also remember is that maybe, let's say, if the National has 120,000 people or whatever, right? About 85,000 of that, and all the energy, it's not you. It's the kids buying modern cards.
Yep.
And realize that Fanatics owns modern cards. They totally control it. And so if you think about that, they actually already have most of the audience.
Yep.
And to then layer on the experience, my son who collects would not go to the National, but he'd go to Fanatics Fest because it gives him the show. He could see eye show speed, which is like, oh my God, who cares about Tom Brady or Kevin Durant? Well, eye show speed, So as at least 25 and under, Fanatics Fest has already won.
Yep.
And then if they try to do other things, it was interesting. Their museum was mostly card based, had a couple game use stuff, but there was a ticket in there here and there. And again, if they try, should they choose to do it, I think you could be like, well, and by the way, for us, there was clearly nothing. There was what I would call a lack of paper. They didn't have tickets. They didn't have interest. They didn't have I couldn't find an Albert Einstein business card. I couldn't find it. But that's really easily done. It's not that hard to do that. And then the question is there going to be multiple? And then it's like, well, if you can only go to one, which would you go to? The National is run by dealers, and they're very protective of the dealers, right? Which is why you walk in and the same guy selling, mitts that no one wants is on the, when you walk in, right? Right. I mean, he's been there for years. He's going to sell one mitt in 4 days, but that's been his spot since Jesus walked into the National and Adam and Eve, and that's how it will be, because that's how it is. So I think
I'm not sure, Darren. I'm not. I think you're right. I don't think this hangs around, man. I think, I've watched a bunch of interviews. Leighton Sheldon had them on. A lot of these. Jeremy Lee had the group.
The three guys. Yeah.
Yeah. There's 3 guys, 4 guys. I mean, no offense to those guys. I mean, the National, I love it, but they're like the Toyota, and Rubin's like the Ferrari, like his group. Like, I don't know, the Ferrari,
like the Tesla. You don't have to put your foot on the gas or the brake. It just goes. And listen, I've had some conversations with those guys. I've tried to say, hey, there's got to be some things that we got to do. I personally pitched for Collect to be at the center on a game day type set, where we have the it's loud and all the athletes come through and there's something to watch. But right now, I think they don't think that fits the obligations to the dealers. Now, obviously, if there's no longer a convention, 100% of nothing is
nothing. Yeah. Tom Bohm says, what are the odds of Fanatics just buying the National? And I don't think
there's no need. There's no reason for them to buy the National.
Yeah.
I mean, what the name? Like, what? I don't understand. So I think right now they don't really have anything redeeming. I do think they do have a chance, by the way, to go different. but I think that time horizon without moving and doing something different and move without the ball is probably 3 years max.
Yep, I agree. Darren, I couldn't agree with you more.
And
My
again,
son.
we have nothing. We went and there's nothing right now. But all it takes is Rich Albersheim, who's selling Type 1 photos. Okay, that's one dealer. Then you get Mike or Sean or whoever. You get 3 great ticket guys. And you get some other paper memorabilia programs, magazines, this and that. I mean,
Vintage autographs.
literally,
Yep.
if you get me the right 25 boots, then I think that, again, the margin of what you have to create is so small to satisfy the people currently not satisfied.
See, I thought it was 100 booths, but you may be right. It might be fewer than that. I thought, you get the Mill Creeks and you get, some of the bigger autograph people and the
But
Fittermans.
Howard, you can't do 100 booths because you bother the same 25 people to get your deal. So
I do. I know. It's funny.
That's why
So let me ask you this. You've said it a couple of times, and I've heard you say it, and I agree. At Fanatics Fest, this kid Josh Roth Cards, man, what a kid this guy is. What a guy. I mean,
yeah.
He's created this business, and he's wheeling and dealing. He's doing all these high-end cards. He gets this Jaden Daniels card. He walks in. I don't know if it's been staged or not. Ruben says, who's got the best Jaden Daniels card?
Right.
Roth Cards walks in. Josh Harris, the owner of the Commanders, buys the card for $500,000. Jaden's there. They're taking pictures. I mean, it's
so all this is planned.
Okay, good. Let it be planned. I don't care.
That's exactly what I'm going to say. Are there going to be athletes? We actually had this discussion in an editorial meeting at Collect today. Are there going to be athletes walking around the National buying their own cards? And the answer is no, there's never been, because they don't have contract. The Fanatics guys have contract that they have to spend 10% of the money they're given on cards and show it. Okay. Yeah. So that's why you see guys walking around. That's why Brady's doing his own thing and everything else. And it's not 100% genuine, but it's happening. It gets a lot of attention. And a lot of people say, who the hell cares? And it's great content. It's really good content. And the fact that you have the owner of the Commanders, the kid, Jaden Daniels, I mean, it's perfection and can't, no, athletes are not going to naturally be walking around the National trying to get their rookie debut patch autos. Not happening.
Yeah. I mean, here, I come back to this, and this is where I was leading with this too. Why aren't more people in our world trying to get the Josh Harrises of the world, the owner of the Commanders, to buy, the Sonny Jurgensen debut and the John Riggins debut and the program they're displaying this ticket supposedly, Darren, in the Commander Stadium. This card in the Commander Stadium. Why couldn't they do a museum of all this stuff and make it even kind of be more nuanced towards tickets and memorabilia and programs? Maybe it's
listen. Part of our job as Collect, people know us, and I'm not trying to make an ad here, but people know us as collect.com. Okay. But most of our business is being an agency to teams, brands, and leagues on how to upstand their own collectibles line. We built St. John's Authentics. We built Monumental Authentics. We've helped them put out product. We are advising several teams on the preservation side, how to preserve. I always say, if you're there's a team that's worth $1 billion that we went to them and they told us they essentially have none of their history. Zero. And I think it's crazy that there are teams worth billions and billions of dollars. And if you were to list who the biggest collectors are, that you could go down 25 slots before you get to the team. Shouldn't the history of the team be part of what you buy if you're going to buy it for $8 billion? I mean, the Lakers aren't the biggest collector. David Kohler is the biggest collector of the Lakers. Right. And so so we've, and when I've said to some owners, for each $1 billion you're worth, you should put $3 million each year into it. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys should be spending $30 million a year to make sure that when they're worth $15 billion, that they have the best collection of Dallas Cowboy stuff, from tickets to everything. Like, I can't, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to understand. And I don't care if you want to make it a museum or not. You have a responsibility as a stewardship of owning this team, and you have money, that you should collect it and you should have it. And whether you want to build a Hall of Fame or monetize it at any point, then you can figure it out then. But that's what I want to do. I want to be able to grow collect by helping grow the business and making sure that Josh Harris does have a, historical, even if they have to say Redskins.
I say it, so it's
Yeah.
fine. So what's Darren Rovell's 5 goals for this year's national? If you don't have 5, your big 1, 2, 3 goals.
Yeah, I mean, from a media side, I think, we want to draw out the greatest, interviews from the athletes.
And let me take a time out. I want to tell you, I thought your Spike Lee interview at Fanatics Fest was one of the best interviews I'd ever seen. You were great. He was great. Phenomenal.
It was one of the top 20 interviews in my career.
Yep.
Which is crazy. I'm proud of last year, Pete Rose. Part of what I take pride in my personal journalism, and I try to impart it to the journalists that work for me, is really to ask these open-ended questions, study really hard, and listen. And, when Pete Rose last year said, I said, yeah, you'll sign anything. You'll sign, I'm sorry, I bet on baseball. And he goes, I hate signing that.
Yeah.
And if you're a good journalist, you go, really? You sign it all the time? Yeah. What do you mean you hate signing it? Well, if the people want it, they want it, but I hate signing it. Why? Well, because it cost me my life. It cost, and you think about it. And he got real deep with me, and all it was a 5-minute interview. So my goal is to not only get athletes, but ask them deep questions and have 1 or 2 really incredible gems that no one knows about, and also kind of in some situations maybe gift them something in the future. So at the Super Bowl, Matt Hasselbeck talked about his father. This was before his father had passed away. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get your father's debut ticket for you, and bought it for $80. And, I like to do that. So in part to, try to get the athletes going, do great interviews, certainly do interviews with the endemics, the guys in the hobby, really ask, the tough questions, and see where they feel, kind of try to also get a sense of, how nervous people are about autographs, about counterfeiting, about gambling and breaking. There's so many topics here to do. So that's maybe the first 2. That's the journalism one. Certainly look around, see if there's anything that, run around that Wednesday night like a rabbit with my head cut off, and see if I could find, someone's, something that I couldn't imagine, up to $20,000. If there's something beyond crazy, I'm going to buy it. So that's one of those things. So I enjoy that. This year I don't have a booth.
Right. I was going to ask you, you're not going
to have.
The reason
I don't have a booth is because when the reason I do have a booth, by the way, is not to sell stuff. I've sold stuff. It's okay. But the education that I give people is the gift. That's why I'm there. You know what? I forgot to tell you something. At Fanatics Fest, I had a bunch of tickets at my table. There were more people who stopped to look at the tickets at Fanatics Fest than stopped to look at the tickets at the National last year.
Wow, really?
And the reason why is because they're so geared towards card, 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 card. Are you cards? Are you cards? Are you cards? You know, at Fanatics Fest, there's people who are actually, they have an open mind and they're
Yeah.
not necessarily looking for cards. And
Yep.
so if they're looking for the wow, it's either going to be seeing up close Tom Brady throwing footballs, or holy crap, that's JFK's last meal ticket, right? So it's actually the same thing. So that was something that I did want to say. I also go, so 4, I also go just to walk around to kind of get a sense of the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you have millions of dollars in this business, even if it doesn't actually have to be millions, it's if you have 5 to 10% of your net worth in this hobby, you should be there to get your give yourself a personal assessment on what's going on, right? So what do you think about modern when everything's in front of you? I listen to kids talking and running around with their, $36,000 Patrick Mahomes rookie patch autos. Like, it's one thing to see sales and see it on eBay and then look at it in person. This is the only time you have where you're seeing the people who have the cards, who are dealing the cards. And that's very important because this game is not fantasy baseball, football, right? It's not he does well, you do well. It's also based on populations. And the one thing that people never get, which I think, ticket guys at the high end are more well-heeled than sports card guys at the high end in terms of, if you take the percentage, because there's guys who are reaching a lot, much more reachers for the cards. And what does that mean? Well, it means that if the thing goes up or down, it's going to be traded faster. So it's going to be more volatile. So understanding who these people are, I think that's one thing that I want to watch. And I just want to see, I'm going to, and then 5th, I'm going to see if the National can get a damn hot dog. I mean, give me some food. I don't want to get a headache again. Like, can we bring in something so that 3 collectors don't die every year? I mean, I don't know. Bring in a deep dish, bring in a tavern style. And now that I said that, I'm going to tell you this. I lived in Chicago for 4 years. I went to Northwestern. I never heard the word tavern style pizza. Oh yeah, it's been in Chicago forever. I never heard anything about tavern style pizza. So this is a new creation, according to me. Yeah, that's
good
it.
Stuff.
Have some fun. Have some fun, and it'd be real interesting because this year is different than last year because Fanatics really got a lot better.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a natural question, how good was. One more thing, I had a dealer tell me at Fanatics Fest that they did better than the National. I said, why is that? And they said, well, at the National, and okay, everyone's comping like crazy. They're comping because they're dealers and they're comping, but at Fanatics Fest, they might not be the same quality of collector, or they're just there having other types of fun, so it's not down to the dollar.
Yep.
And that's an interesting thing too. So everyone is going to be comparing, the National, and I think they're real. I don't think they're going to step up this year, but I do think that they're going to realize that the end is near after this year, if there's not a major push to do something else. Now, they're not going to have Joe Burrow throwing baseballs, right? But in their own way, they have to figure out how to create more. Maybe they go more card and ticket and everything centric, but they got to get people like loud, people like microphones, and it's not microphones for breaking. They like stars. Maybe TriStar has to include in their contracts to pull people out. You're not just going to sign. You're going to walk around, whatever it is. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
Darren, I have to tell you, I mean, I think it's this year, and if by next year they don't start fixing this, I listen to the Fanatics guys, and they're like, we don't want to be the National. The National is this great thing. We don't want to be the National. And we would never step on the National.
I don't think they think the National is a great thing.
I don't either.
Right, but I do think, and I don't think they want to be the National. The thing
No.
is that the thing is that the National might not be enough to survive if they do, if they do what they do.
Yeah, I think they've snatched it away. I'm telling you, you're going to have to see a major change in the National. And I'm glad we did this show. We did it before the National because I guarantee you 10 other shows, 50 other shows, 100 other shows are going to compare the National to Fanatics Fest and talk just like we did. We get your insight on it because you were at both. You've been to the National forever. And quite candidly, I think you're right. We're going to need to see
That's why I have a gray beard.
Yeah.
Because I've been
I know. Well, I have to tell everyone, you got to like and subscribe to the channel. That's a new YouTube thing for me. Like and subscribe. Darren, I have to tell you, I can't wait to see. I'm upset that you're not going to have your stuff, but I always like seeing
I'll bring a bag of tricks that we could agonize over whether I'm going to sell it, whether I'm not, whether I'm going to lose it and then never be able to sell it again. I mean, that's the most agonizing thing that I do to you. It's like, I saw it at the National. I'm like, I know you didn't buy the Dave Winfield Siegel ticket at the National, and it's like, where is it? I'm like, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? It was at the National. It's like, who's on the ticket first?
I know. Just got to buy it, right? I just got to buy it.
I will see you at the National. I'll bring you a couple, you a couple of tricks for you.
Okay, great. Episode 64 of Stub Luv Live. We're out. Darren Rovell. As always, I appreciate it, my friend.
We'll see you.
Take care.